I am absolutely disgusting right now. Been working in the shop all day, but this just showed up and, well, I've been waiting on this thing. This is a good example of when I try to save a few bucks. Instead of buying the right tool, I end up spending more money to get the right tool down the road. So this is what I should have bought years ago. But instead I bought just a regular high-speed cut-off saw, chop saw, and they work well. I mean, they get the cuts done, but they're horribly messy cuts, shoot sparks everywhere. You don't get a clean cut at all on the edge, and you end up spending a lot more time finish prepping the pieces that you cut than had you had something like this. This is a cold cut saw, operates at a much lower RPM, a lot more torque, and doesn't make the sparkies, and it gives you a nice cut. So to compare, this is a saw I've been using for a long time. Again, these are cheap. Like, I think you can get this saw for like 120 bucks. This is a Porter and cable, but it's not good for precise cuts. And the biggest problem here is that it uses a stamped steel deck. So if you were to, let's see if I can show you here. As I start to crank down on this, you're gonna see everything bend. The bed actually arches up and you never get the perfect straight cut. And even if you did, there's so much deflection in the blade, it ends up kind of always cutting like this. So again, it's good for rough cutting stuff, but beyond that, it kind of sucks. Now for contrast, we have a cast base that is nice and thick. So with the cast, you really don't get much deflection. You get a break before you get a whole lot of deflection. I like this setup a lot better as well. So same thing, lift, quick adjusts, and it locks in place. And then this is also a big 1/4 inch cast piece, this backing plate, which is much better than the stamp, probably 16 gauge steel that the other one is. Nice quick adjustment. Very easy. And the other thing that this does that the other saw doesn't do is this allows you to cut 45s in both directions. You can only cut 45 in one direction on that other saw, so that makes you have to flip your workpiece, and sometimes you get things mixed up. The key to success here, what makes this machine, what makes a cold cutting saw, is this is not a direct drive to the blade. This is going through a gearbox that steps it down, so you pick up a whole lot of torque. And then it also keeps your cutting speed or blade tip speed down, so you don't generate a lot of heat. Without any heat, you don't really have much distortion. Gives you a much cleaner cut. Has a great heavy spring load in here. Nice meaty spring. All right, let's fire it up, see how loud it is. Well, it's not quiet. The gearbox obviously does make it much louder, although that thing's crazy loud too, so there's not much you can do there. That gearbox will actually quiet down as it wears in. You can actually hear the rough cut on the gears still. Nothing's meshed completely yet, so it'll get a little quieter, but these things still require ear protection. There's no way around it. Here's an extra piece of 3/8 thick bar stock here. So what we'll do is a comparison between cutting this off on the other machine and then cutting it off on this machine. We'll check and compare the quality of the cut, but also I want to really curious about the temperature, because the hotter these things get, I've burned myself 1,000 times on hot metal. So if this cuts, not cold, but relatively cool, that's going to be a big deal for me. Look at that cut quality. Holy crap, there's nothing. It's clean as a whistle. What have I been doing my whole life with that other stupid saw? Does anything else need to even be said? You saw how long that took on the high-speed saw just to break through that initial flat layer, because that's the hardest part of the cut. I didn't time it, but hopefully in the video, in the editing, I remember to time that one. I mean, that took a long time to cut. As you saw, the temperature up over 400 degrees. This one, I don't know how long this took to cut, but I wasn't even pushing down on it hard, unlike the other one. It could have cut quite a bit faster if you really pushed it, and I can literally hold the end of this thing. Delicious. Ooh. A lot of iron in that one. A little manganese too. Delicious. That's a game changer. I spend the extra money, buy it. Spend the extra money up front. It's so worth it. This isn't that much more expensive. Well, I guess technically it's like twice the price, but twice the price is only like another 130 bucks. And you will enjoy life so much better. So you are going to see this thing a lot in the shop as I'm working on the car behind me here. I do quite a bit of metal cutting, so I'll be sure to update this if my thought or opinion on it changes, but my God, that is ridiculous. Links for this are in the description along with the discount code if you are interested. If you use that, you save a little money. I make a little bit of money, help pay off these tools. Anywho's, thanks for watching. As always, any comments, questions, concerns, and or criticisms, throw them down in the comment section below me. Otherwise, everybody have a great day.